I personally find that curiosity is the greatest trait that you can hold. Let me explain. The reason I find it such an important thing to have is this is what allows us to actually start to explore. I mean, if you look back in history and stuff, we've always had this sort of way of exploring certain things. We always wanted to see what else can we do? What else can be made of this? And what is this certain thing? How can I maybe use this and apply to this here, you know? That's what allowed evolution to happen over time as well. And curiosity, it is our greatest asset, but I find it is also something that is not being practiced that much anymore. In a world nowadays where we go to school and then we are then told, okay, pick one single thing that you want to remain in for the most of your life. That's why many people have the difficulty of figuring out that one single thing, you know? Because you commit yourself to it and then you realize, I kind of want to do something else now, or I kind of actually am now interested about this. But then if you want to jump into that new thing, people will say, well, that's irresponsible. You shouldn't do that. Why don't you focus on that one single thing instead? But I find this behavior is very restricting to those who want to see what is beyond the surface, what is beyond the next level. Curiosity really is something I found has been my greatest asset simply because I'm someone I just like to study new things. If I find something interesting, I'll just go deeper into it and see, oh, what is this about? And it's at a point too where one cannot put me into a box. I'm just so interested in so many different things that putting me inside of a box and trying to perceive me as just this individual who likes only this and this, it won't work. And that is such a beautiful thing though. It's such a beautiful thing because you realize everyone can be that. Everyone can be someone who can be multidimensional. I believe that we are that as human beings in that sense. But due to the restriction kind of happening where we are told you only should focus on one lane and doing otherwise would be considered irresponsible, it restricts one. It allows one to not have the courage and to embrace that curiosity. So that's what I want to speak about here in this video. How you can actually use this as your greatest asset and how you can implement this in your life to where it can actually help you grow. So if you're interested, then stick around. But before I get into the video, if you already are interested and you want to go more deeper into, let's say, taking action on your life and seeing how can you implement certain things to get from A to B and to live authentically to you, then down below you can find a link to my calendar where we can speak and you can see then how we can apply certain things and how we can move on from there. But either way, let's get into the video. So, curiosity. It's a beautiful trait that we've always had as kids. I mean, when we were kids, we always explored certain things and we didn't care, honestly. We weren't like, oh, I shouldn't be curious about that because I should only focus on this one thing. We just were like, oh, I think that's interesting. Let me explore. And we did. And that was such a beautiful and pure experience as well. We didn't have any ideas attached to it, no guilt or shame. We just observed and made our own thing out of it. It's so beautiful. But as I said, over time it started to slowly kind of move away. The more life tries to tell you, oh, you need to be responsible, you need to do this and this, you feel like you cannot be that curious child anymore. And yes, you do need to be responsible, I get that. But that doesn't mean you have to restrict yourself from learning, from experiencing. I mean, that's why we're here. Eventually, we're all going to pass away. That's simply how it's going to be. I'm not going to be here anymore. So why not use the time to experience and to see what can I make out of all of this? I have a voice right now to speak. I have a mind that is thinking. So why not somehow use this to not just the benefit of myself, but also for others? I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here as well. But I find people get too obsessed with the idea of I need to be an expert in this one field because then I'm good enough. And that's because one attaches their identity and self-worth too much to that one single thing. And I get it. If you study something for all of your life, if you're a doctor, and then suddenly you don't have it anymore, you're like, well, who am I now? And that's where midlife crisis happens, you know? Because you realize you're nothing without it. And that's because you added so much onto you, onto that one single thing. But I find the one thing that actually allows you to live more at peace and stable in that sense is when you have you distributed to different sources. So let's say you're interested in, personally for me, like in fighting, so martial arts and stuff. Another part might be you're interested into deeper spiritual religious stuff, or into so many other different things. Might be you're interested into how a generator works. Who knows, but whatever interests you. Like there's so many different avenues that you can choose, and I find the more you choose that truly you feel like you could just sit there and consume so much of it and learn about it and be passionate about it, that is important. And the reason many people get depressed over time, based on my personal belief and observation, is because one is not allowed to enjoy that anymore. One is forced into one thing, and you're stuck with that for the rest of your life, and then you're 70, 80, and then it's like, well, what now? It shouldn't be that way. So how can one start to implement this into one's life? What I found to be the best way is honestly just learn to take action on things. And I know this is very broadly communicated, but truly, if you notice just a little bit of curiosity about something, have no shame in it. Just go and observe it. You don't have to overly commit to it instantly, but just take a little step forward and observe it and see, what is this? What do I like about this? Kind of just get a little bit of an idea, feeling for it, and then you can see, do you move back or forward? This allows you to kind of take the little steps forward and seeing who you truly are. Because underneath our psyche, there are certain things that can only be expressed through the courage of taking action, of taking that step forward. We all have parts of ourselves that are locked away and are waiting for us to be unlocked. But we can only do so if we take that step. Now, second, as I previously stated earlier, do not attach your self-worth so much to whatever it is that you're pursuing, whatever passions you have, etc. Because if you attach yourself with too much to that single thing, if that thing starts to fall apart, so will you. That's, for example, why in the Bible it speaks about one should put one's foundation on the rock, which in a sense is meaning of God. Because the rock is steadfast, it will not fall away. If the storms and the water comes, it will not be hit. But for many, they put their foundation on the sand. And then when the water comes, it sweeps it all away, and then it crumbles. So figure out what are some layers that you can build that represent that rock for you. It can be, for example, for me, it's God, of course. I put God above everything else. But for some who might not be in that, let's say, religious or spiritual perspective of things, it can be something else. It can be philosophical. It can be something that you just, as I said, are passionate about, a hobby or a business you're pursuing, whatever it is for you. Try to find different things that you feel like you can truly anchor in, that you feel represent you authentically, and double down on it. Double down on it and just be always open to adjusting a bit and being curious about other things, but have your main foundation. That way, when the water comes, you will not crumble, you will not fall. And in a world where a lot of things are kind of being a bit shaky right now, I think that's very important. Now, the third thing is try to find environments that allow you to express your curiosity freely. May that be finding groups who already are practicing a certain thing. May it be people who just support you and who are also kind of curious about certain things too, and having someone you can explore it with. Oftentimes when we have a group of people, it allows us to feel more secure and also feel like, okay, this people are enjoying this, so I could be enjoying this too. Let me check it out. So finding your tribe in that sense, your group, it's it's all really about taking one step forward. I have to tell you, it's really just, if you know, as a curiosity, just see what can you do now. You can go to that meetup and maybe see, okay, what is this about? Let me go to this meetup about generators or something where people discuss about all of the handiwork of it and everything. I mean, I personally don't know anything about it, but I'm sure for some it's interesting. And then do your research online too. See maybe what can you already gather from it. What is it about? And then of course the most best way to actually experience something is to get hands-on into it. So start seeing how can you put your hands on it and see how can you apply certain things, etc. That way it gives you the safety of, okay, people are around me, they're doing it, they're enjoying it. I have people I can ask and see it, what is this about? And you also have the security of kind of being by yourself and gathering information already, so you don't seem too much of a amateur, which you don't need to be ashamed of it, but for some I get it. They might overthink about it, and that's fine. That's why researching can be a good thing. And just then putting it all into practice and then trying and playing around a little bit, testing around and being open to making mistakes. I speak about this so much, but you gotta be open to making mistakes because that's the only way you can learn and develop. And if you apply these 3 things, I strongly believe you will be good off. You'll be off on a good start with everything, and you will start to actually enjoy life more truly to you. So, see how this works for you. You can apply this to anything in your life. May that be relationships, may that be business, may it be certain hobbies and interests, as said. Just see what works for you, what truly feels aligned, and follow the principles that I spoke about here too, and let me know how it works for you. I'd be curious to know. But either way, I wish you a wonderful day, my friend. And as said, if you want to go deeper into this stuff and want to apply to work with me, then down below you can find a link to my calendar and we can see from there how we can move forward. But I wish you a wonderful day and stay safe. And always remember, remain in truth. And much love, my friend.